All right, Andini, so welcome to Townhome G. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bathroom.
Have you dreamt about owning a home?
That's $2,250.
Imagine going to your first open house. You're greeted by a real estate agent, and you get a grand tour.
As well as an additional 2 closets.
You tell the agent that you have $1,000 ready to buy the home, but you find out that it's
$1.4 million.
Can anyone afford that number? Do people even know how much an average home in NYC costs?
Good question. It's hella expensive here.
At minimum, like $500,000.
That might be a little tough.
Does anyone believe that they can afford a home? What exactly does it take to own one? This is Your World on Money. So this might sound obvious, but homeownership is either owning the home you live in outright or making an arrangement with the bank where you will pay them to eventually own the home. Homeownership is an investment that can help build wealth over time. But as the average price of a home in the United States fluctuates year to year, that's an investment not everyone can make or should make. I don't know about you, but $400K seems like a lot of money that I don't have. So how are the younger generations supposed to afford homes? We'll get to that, but first, let's look back into when homeownership became more accessible for the everyday American. During the 1800s in the US, the only way to own a home was to pay for it outright or build it yourself on the land that you owned. By the 1860s, some banks decided to lend people money to purchase homes. These loans were known as mortgages, and by the 1890s, they were increasingly popular. However, home ownership was still not nearly as accessible as it is today. The GI Bill of 1944 helped establish low-interest mortgages for World War II veterans and created with it a huge demand for housing. This eventually led to the creation of the suburbs. Well, hello, Mackenzie. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Hi, I'm so excited to talk to you all about home ownership today.
How does home ownership differ from renting?
Home ownership is owning the actual asset of a house. You own the house or you own the apartment. With home ownership, you're paying someone on a monthly basis and you actually own the entity.
So what are the benefits for investing in a home?
Home ownership is an investment in yourself, and it's an investment in your future. Aside from just the incredible financial security and longevity, is that your home poses as an investment. So the good old term of equity. Home equity is the actual dollar amount that you own of your property. So if your home is $1 million and you have $500,000 into it, and then the bank has loaned you the rest, what you own is $500,000 worth of equity in your home. Over time, each month you're paying a mortgage. And so every month that you pay, you are gaining more equity in your actual property. Other ways to grow equity in your home are to increase the value of your home by remodeling the new kitchen or new bathroom.
Okay, I love that. So this is a bit in the future for myself, but could you tell what the steps are for buying a home?
The first step for me is getting our ducks in a row with our finances, meaning, are we going to get a loan or are we going to purchase in cash? You can also borrow from the people you know. So your parents, siblings, your grandparents can give you a nice lump sum. You yourself do not have to have the entire amount of cash needed to purchase because we can finance. Financing is the process in which you go to a bank and apply for a loan, and a bank looks at all of your finances and says, this is the amount that we're going to lend you. The process is called the pre-approval process. Pre-approval is the most important step because if you don't know how much you can afford to spend, then we don't know the price of the houses that we should be looking at. Second step is really choosing a great agent who's speaking your language and who knows the market that you're looking to buy in. We're the people communicating and negotiating on your behalf.
Wow, I'm learning so much. I feel like I knew absolutely nothing about home ownership, so I'm just absorbing everything like a sponge. Could you walk me through the pre-approval process?
Yes, the pre-approval process is run entirely by the lender, by the bank. The way that they do it is by collecting a number of financial documents to assess your stability and your ability to purchase and pay off this house over 10, 15, 30 years time. Looking at your income, your last 2 years of tax returns, how much cash you have on hand, what your credit looks like, what your W-2s look like, what your work history look like. They want to know how financially fit and stable are you, and additionally, how much money are you able to put down versus how much money are they going to loan you. The bank then puts that all into one big package, and they come back to you and say, okay, we are able to lend you $300,000 for this purchase, so you can buy a house that's around $500,000 or $550,000. So once you have your pre-approval letter, it's time to start hunting. I think there's a really incredible opportunity for young people to take ownership over their financial futures. And I think the biggest way that most young people can do it is through home ownership. And so the biggest thing I would say is if you pay attention and if you focus on it, you can make it happen just like we do everything else.
Wisdom. I love that. Putting your energy towards homeownership. Thank you so much, Mackenzie. Truly appreciate your time.
Thank you. And I'll see you when you buy your next home.
Yes, I will be back. While homeownership can seem complicated, it's worth figuring out to see if it's right for you. Define your goals and purpose for owning a home and really think about homeownership as an investment. Buying a home is expensive, but thankfully you don't have to have all the cash because there are many professionals out there who can help you with financing a home. Whether it's a few years from now or soon, I very much look forward to buying a home. Okay, good to know. I'm not ready yet.
Not exactly. But there are programs with banks that do as little as 10% down.